Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Before I go into everything, I want to thank all my Tea Time with Bunky followers and subscribers, all my new followers, subscribers, those that are just tuning in to see these gentlemen tonight. Thank you so much. I want to remind everybody that on Thursday evenings, well, Tea Time with Bunky is sponsored by powered by Zeno FM and supported by online radio box. And you can find this episode Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Zeno FM on LLR Ohio, the Tattoo Shop Radio, Sasquatch Boot Hill Radio, Cuzzo FM Radio. That's at 9 p.m. Download Zeno FM. Fridays, you can find this show at 8:30 a.m. on WAP the Music FM, which is in Guadalupe, France. Just want to let you know. Culture Shock Radio, which is in Canada. Southern Soul Gold Radio. And on Sundays at 1 p.m., you can um find us on Confidence Radio. Um I chose that song because you guys will learn down the road as we get a little bit closer. That song, I received a blessing on Tuesday, something that I wanted, and it just it just confirms that just God is just so good. God is just so good. Uh, I want everybody to know tonight. Also on Thursday, there's another show, part of the Village. Shout out to BGN Village Global Network. Let's Get Activated podcast by Miss Samantha is on. She's awesome, you guys. This woman is awesome. You can follow her on YouTube and Facebook, and also on the radio stations for the radio stations that I mentioned. I just want to let you all know too that we're going to be starting back Political Tuesdays, Tea Time with Bunky Political Tuesdays. Yeah, these politics things are starting to happen all over again. Whatever. It's going to be something. So, without further ado, I would like to bring on the Catskill Tattoo Company. Hello, gentlemen. We have Corey, Chris, and Josh.
Hi.
Yeah, hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Uh,
Hi. How are you doing?
Josh over there, Corey right here, and I'm Chris.
And Chris.
Yeah.
And you guys are located on 452 Broadway, Suite C in Monticello, New York. For those that don't know.
And for those that do know, we're right across the street from Salt and Pepper, where you can get the best bulgogi ever.
You know, I've never eaten there.
What? Come on,
I-
crazy.
But why?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like everyone in the area knows Salt and
We
Pepper.
literally all ate there just before this.
Yeah, this is how we got ready to come on your show.
Now I know about it, but I've never eaten there. Never.
You gotta
No.
try.
I know. I will eventually. I will eventually. Now, you guys gave me my first tattoo.
Congrats. Welcome to the club.
That's what everybody says. That's
Yeah.
what everybody said. And it took me to be 52 to get this tattoo.
That's
And
all
let me tell you how it works though. Let me tell you how this thing works. I wanted a tattoo for almost 28 years. Almost 28 years. My baby is 28, 29. Well, whatever. I wanted this tattoo. Afraid, terrified. So when this event happened in my life recently, I was like, let me just do it. So I called you guys. I was like, Kenny, who do I call? So he said, my boy, call my boy. So I called Corey,
Josh.
right? Josh. Who did my tattoo?
Josh.
Me. Hey,
I was so scared. I'm sorry. You had a hat on, right? You had a hat.
I might not have been as bald back then either.
Okay, all right. Because I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. And I called to set up my console. You were like, come in, I'll talk to you. But you just happened to have a free moment, which worked out because I would have talked myself out of it. I would have. So thank you so much.
You called the day before. I said,
Yep.
come the next day. And
Yep.
time we'll do it. We did. We drew it up. We got it ready. Put it right on you. Slapped it on you.
Yes, you did. And you were great. So that's why I was like, talking to you while I was in your chair. I was really distracting myself.
I was
that was
the one that was crying a lot, right?
I didn't. I think I did pretty good.
You did.
No, you did great. You did great.
Okay, I was like, but I
No,
figured
I'm the one that cries.
I cry.
Yeah,
A lot.
I cry every time.
Oh, I hate getting tattooed.
What?
It's the worst.
It is. It's pretty bad. But like you all told me when I left, you said you'll be back. I'm like, no, this is it. They was like, no,
It's
you'll be back. And you know what? I'm thinking about coming back and getting a heart colored in.
Well, it's that feeling you just explained when you got all those emotions prior to the tattoo.
Yeah.
You're getting it. It hurts a little bit. Sometimes it hurts a lot, and then you get through it and you get this surge of just like, yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the thing that people are addicted to.
And it is addictive.
Yeah.
It's very addictive. But it's worth it. It's worth it. But okay, so we jumped ahead. So tell first, you're gonna tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay. So,
Yep. Go
well,
ahead.
So, like you said, my name is Corey Wakeman. I grew up in Monticello. I went to school right down the road, Monticello High School, and yeah, he knows.
It's
He
like
knows
crack.
my wife. Yes, tattoos are like crack, so it's pretty much Anyway, so I went to Monticello High School and was drawing all my life, just like cartoons, whatever. As I got to high school, it got a little bit more graphic in nature. And then, but then after high school, I went the opposite way. I went to like business school, thinking I would be like an accountant or something like that. And I hated what I was doing. So I came back home, took a year off, hung out with this guy a lot, and went to community college for graphic design, which was a little bit closer, art based, but even that was terrible afterwards. Like, just, it's not, it wasn't for me. So at the time I was in a band and I see all these other band members, they have tattoos. I'm like, well, I gotta get a tattoo then. So I started getting tattooed by the guy who ended up mentoring me. And I just was watching him one day. He was doing like this one or something, and it was just like, I could do that. And so I did it the way that you're not supposed to. I got a kit off of like Amazon or something and just started tattooing my friends in a house. I was living with Josh over.
I'm one of those friends that got those early
Oh.
tattoos.
If you're ever at Catskill Tattoo Company, ask to see some of the work that I did on Josh in the early days before
It's
I
not
pro.
worth it.
Well, that's friendship right there because he trusts you. That's a
Yeah.
friend.
It's either friendship or stupidity. It's one of them.
It was a mix of both.
So I was doing home tattoos, just destroying people's lives and working overnights. And I knew the whole time this is like, I want to do this for real. This is not the right way to do it. So I would go work the overnights, fill out like sketchbooks and go to the guy that was tattooing me. I'd ask him for apprenticeship. No. And I must have asked him like 3 or 4 times. He said no every time. I came to him with like a new book of designs. He was just like, no.
Oh, wow.
Garbage. Get out of here. And I just kept going, getting tattooed by him. And eventually it was like right before 2012 when the world was supposed to end. And he was like, if we're all still here, come January 1st, then you'll start then. So I started January 1st, 2012. And
Because he thought the world was going to end, so he let you tattoo.
I mean, I think we all did. I was sure.
I thought
I
that was really onto something.
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know that the world was going to end in 2012. Okay.
Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I tattooed at City Lights Tattoo in Liberty for 8 years. And then like Josh actually came on and started apprenticing there. So I tried like reworking. Things just didn't end up working out with me and the mentor. So I took off because I'm married to a Puerto Rican woman and her mother and my wife can be very, could be very persuasive. So they pushed me to just, what's the worst thing I have? Just start your own business. Like I can either go work for some other tattoo shop and have pretty much the same deal, or I can just try it out. So we did that and it worked. So we opened up in 2023. So 2021, we opened up March.
Catskill, this one.
Yep. And then Chris
In
came.
the same location?
Yeah. We've been here for.
It's a cornerstone.
Yeah. 2 years
Landmark.
now. 2 years this past March, we've been in this location.
And people didn't know.
Well, so yes, my clients knew because I had like 8 years worth of clients, but people know now.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So,
Okay. So
and then-
you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, 11 years for me.
11 years.
Yeah.
Nick.
So same as Corey. I graduated from Monticello in 2011.
We all did. We're all Monticello alumni.
Oh,
Panther.
you're all Panthers.
That's
Okay.
the Panther as the logo, you know?
Yeah. Got to represent Monticello.
Well, I'm a Comet, so.
Oh.
But that's neither. Don't do that. Don't diss us Comets now. Don't.
Come on, you want a mascot, a Comet, or a Panther?
Yeah.
Come on, let's be honest here.
One's a rock, one's a living thing.
All right.
All right. Sorry. We got to. My bad. So yeah, I graduated from Monticello. After high school, I did a few different things. I lived in West Virginia. I went to college out there for a while,
Yeah.
and then I got my degree. I was doing a few different things. I had a few different jobs. I was in the Army National Guard. I was doing like MMA stuff. I was doing a little bit of everything because I didn't know.
MMA? Okay. You were finding your way.
Yeah, pretty much, you know.
Okay.
So guys had a lot of jobs.
Yeah. It's I went from one job to the next. It was just kind of it wasn't like I had a serving job and then I went to another serving job. It was like I was a bank teller and then the next job was an iron worker, and I was just kind of a little all over the place. But it was good for me overall, just because I felt like every time I did that, I kind of took a chance and risked something to just find out if this thing that I wanted was going to be worth it in the end. And it kind of let me figure out like what I actually wanted for myself and my future and my career and all those things by just going for it and trying those different jobs out. And then I always liked drawing, even since I was in high school, but it was kind of just something I did for me. I would just kind of doodle and usually honestly throw it away. And then after I finished ironworking, I wound up getting sick, so I had to take some time off, and I started selling like woodworking art. So I had like different designs or whatever people wanted, and I would burn it onto a piece of wood and then just sell it as is, or I like build like coffee tables or little things like that. And for me, it was kind of when I did that, I realized like, oh, I could actually make money with art, with drawings or, you know, designs or whatever it may be. So for me, it kind of seemed a little bit more feasible to get into tattooing because, you know, you grow up and you're raised like, oh, like art isn't a career, you know, these things aren't careers. That's not a job. You got to find something that provides you with X, Y, and Z, you know? But when I started making some money, just again, from trying it out, realized like, oh no, this is actually a thing. And if I put the time in, I could do it for a living, you know? So then it was my time of trying to find a relationship.
There goes Jesse.
Yeah, there's Jesse. And it was a little different from Corey's because I went to a bunch of places and got a bunch of no's as well. But Corey was smart in terms of he was persistent with the same person, and he like kept going back and knew like where he wanted to be and who he wanted to learn from, and kept asking that person. I was like, oh no, okay. Went to the next place and asked them, and then went to the next place. I actually asked Corey. He said no.
I told him no at the bagel.
Yeah,
Actually, I think I told them both no at the bagel fest.
Yeah.
That same bagel fest.
Wow.
You're gonna apprentice me.
Yeah. But so I would just kind of taking the nose and moving on to the next place, trying to find somewhere just because I wanted to learn, and I didn't choose the at-home route like Corey. I was too scared. I had much more courage than I did.
I know somebody doing that right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people doing that right now. They come in the tattoo shop all the time.
Yeah, we see them.
Yeah, we see them after they're done, and their buddy's like, "Hey, my friend did this in their kitchen. Can you cover it up for me?"
My uncle's a professional, you know.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of everyone has a professional uncle that tattoos.
Professional tattooing.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. That's crazy.
Yeah. So eventually, I was able to get an apprenticeship. I apprenticed with them for a few years, or for some time, like a year and a half or so, and then wasn't working out there. So I was talked to Corey and kind of was like, hey, like I have some experience. It's not just absolutely nothing, you know. And
basically nothing.
he was gracious enough to, you know, come let me work in his brand new shop. And it's been great since.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Josh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that I'm sorry. You had a hat on. You had a hat on.
Me and him are basically the same person.
Yeah, we call him Mr.
Yeah,
Josh too. So you
Mr.
nailed it.
Josh. So me,
Oh,
we're actually outside.
Yeah,
So me
see.
personally,
I think
I
it was
actually.
I think we just heard a car accident.
oh,
Well, that's
Yeah.
why we love Broadway.
oh God. Hope
All right.
not. Okay.
So me, I actually started doing art after I broke my leg. I got hit by a go-kart and I had a pretty nasty break, needed surgery. I was out of limbo for a while.
Okay.
So I started doing this very geometric dot work, repetitive art, and found moderate success just doing it and liking it. Because I was
Okay.
never somebody who did a whole lot of art as a child. You look at my doodles from high school, you'd say, there's no way this guy's gonna be an artist. So yeah, after that, I moved out to Colorado with a couple friends, a buddy Josh Deichman, who is a successful artist right now. He's currently working in the area, and worked in cannabis out there for quite a few years. Still kind of always had it in the back of my mind. I wanted to tattoo, and tried a few shops out there. Got a little honey-dicked a little bit by a shop or two, and really got turned off a little bit from tattooing. Still was very interested in just getting tattooed. So continued just growing a collection and having tattoos. So eventually the job with cannabis just didn't work out. And I'm grateful for that. Thought I had a real career there, but things
Some
didn't work
people
out.
do. Well,
I ended up-
everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Everything.
So I ended up moving back home here, Sullivan County, from Denver, Colorado. And
Okay.
luckily enough, I had an in with a tattoo shop around with a buddy who was a tattooer. And so I approached the shop, City Lights, and I brought them a lot of bad drawings. And I'm actually very surprised they took me on as the apprentice. And finally, they said yes. I didn't have to badger him the same way.
Well, taking on, sorry, but taking on an apprentice is it's something that comes up all the time in tattoo shops, and it's not that Josh's art was terrible, so we're not going to take him. But it's like I knew Josh since middle school. I know that he's really into tattooing, and he's pretty much got nothing else going on in his life. So you tell Sean, the guy I work for, this guy's really into it. He's really into it. He's going to put the time. He's going to work. He's maybe not the best artist, but he's really into it, and that's more important than someone who's a great artist, has a great ego, and they're just like, I'm just gonna be the best right off the bat. It's better to have someone who pretty much knows nothing but just loves the
doing it.
the process and craft of tattooing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go on.
All right. So okay, when I was in there, you were tattooing someone. Like I said, I run into people, which is crazy because I would have never known because I don't look for people that get tattoos. But once my friends knew I got a tattoo and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get it?" And I'm like, "Oh, on the shop on Broadway. I didn't know it existed or whatever." And so many people started coming out. "Oh, well, this one is my tattoo artist, and this one is my," and I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I'm curious as to what was the craziest experience, because I'm sure you guys thought that, Josh, when you did that one little dot, I was going to jump out the chair when you started the E.
I know. You're not the first one I've ever done.
I thought I was going to jump out the chair. I really did, but I couldn't be.
Funky. I had faith.
And I couldn't be a punk. I really couldn't. I'm like, okay, we started it. Let's finish it. Because that would have been crazy. But what is the crazy? Well, let me rewind. You sent me these pictures, right? I got these pictures of these tattoos. These people that have these giant tattoos on their body. What is the process for getting something like that? Can they come in and do one sitting? Because I watch all these tattoo shows like Black Ink, Ink Masters. I love that stuff. But what is it, a one sit down process, or do they come back over time? Because y'all tattoos are crazy.
Well, it's definitely a mix of all. And I think the further you get into tattooing, these guys have only been doing it for about 3 years now. So their stories aren't going to be as crazy, and a lot of they have done big work, but a lot of times with like street shop type of tattooing, you get people that want like a hand size tattoo or something a little smaller, something they see online that they like, you know, little memorial tattoos or whatever. And those you can all do in one shop for the most part. As you get further down in your career, the thing is you if you do a good job on those tattoos and the people like it, they'll come back. I'm like, well, maybe you want to do a sleeve on me or something like that. And then conceptualizing a sleeve and then actually putting it on someone definitely takes time. You know, it's going to be a few sessions and a lot of pain. And it's a two-way street from like the person doing the tattoo and the person getting the tattoo. Like you get that first session, like on your ribs or something, you're getting a huge piece and it was horrifically painful, but it's not done yet. And so now you know you got to go back. It's like some people are more committed to making that next appointment, even though they know it's going to be terrible, and being there for you to tattoo it. But then there are other people that get that first session for a larger tattoo, and they're like, "See you, dog."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I've started big pieces where you just never see the person again. You're like, oh, I wish they would come back and finish it, but
oh my God.
for the most, that doesn't happen. But yes,
so the outline.
Yeah,
So
they maybe started a full sleeve or like a half sleeve. It's outlined, and maybe there's even like a little bit of shading, and they just never come back.
Well, I watch it on TV. Like I said, I watch Ink Masters, and they do like, okay, you have this piece on the ribs, 6 hours to get it done. So I watch these things. I'm like, so something large, like I mean, like even on their heads. Like, have you ever done like a head tattoo?
Maybe not like the top, but like side, around the back of the head. But the shows are like entertaining.
So they're not.
And I've watched them. They're not like an accurate depiction of what tattooing is. You know, okay. It's entertainment, and 6 hours is a long time to get a big piece done. Like nowadays, people really are sitting for big tattoos. Commonly, it's like 2 to 4 hours, really.
Really?
Yeah, for big work, where it's going to be a few sessions. It's like, why burn yourself out, like doing it all, trying to get it all done in one? Like the quality's not going to be as good by the end of that 6, 7, 8 hours. And they're going to feel like crap too. So it's better to like, all right, you're starting like a back piece or a sleeve. We're going to have one session every other month or one a month. And we're going to just do, 2 to 4 hours a session and just kind of chunk it. Like where the competition, it's you also have some random person coming in and they're like, you get stuck with someone who does this style, but you want this specific thing and you want it in the most painful spot ever. It's like, this is not realistic, but it's entertaining.
So what I've learned from Ink Masters and things, but I'm sure this is true. Like there are different styles. Like there is realistic tattoos, and people's specialties are color tattoos or tribal tattoos. Right, right. So I learned something from watching those shows. So who has? Does anybody have a specialty in the shop? Like I only do this kind, or well, I do them all, but this is my specialty. Who does anybody have like a?
Well, so like I said,
black and white and stuff.
I've been tattooing for 11 years now, and but because of like geographically where I've been located tattooing, like it's been street shops, and what I mean by that is like you have a lot of walk-in traffic. Customers just want either something off the wall, a design, or they want something very specific that they saw on their phone, and it's like you're kind of, especially in the beginning stages of your career, like the first 5 to 8 years, you're just like basically at the mercy of your clients. You're trying to push like certain styles, but like you're also in the beginning just trying to get good at tattooing. So like for me personally, I've just had to kind of get good at everything. Like I'm a master of nothing, but I'm good at a lot of styles. Like I could do black and gray, I could do color tattoos, I could do all of the stuff really. I've done tribal stuff. Like but as I've tattooed for 10 years plus now, I've definitely preference for what I like to tattoo has narrowed into more of like American style or Japanese style, like traditional tattooing, stuff that I think is just going to look bold and clean and look like a nice tattoo over the course of your lifespan. I do like doing black and gray tattoos also, depending, like dog portraits. Some of that stuff is fun. Some of that stuff gets overdone a little bit, like pocket watches or stuff like that.
Yeah, there are a lot of.
I've probably tattooed 40 lions just last year. It's just like some things you get a little burnt out on, but
that's crazy. That's crazy. Josh,
You guys?
tell me interesting. I mean, like I know you guys have some interesting stories. What's the craziest situation you've ever had? I mean, we're not naming names, so nobody's gonna know who you're talking about. Like, what's the craziest situation you've had?
Craziest story, my career, short career right now. But we had a guy come in. He came in. He must have been 40 years old plus. Came in with like a 20 or younger girlfriend, arguing to the max already. So this is already a strange situation.
Oh Lord.
I don't even see what they have in common at that point. But so he wants to get a rose on his hand. Cool. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want. But he
This
wants
part, the
Yeah.
outer part.
yeah, it's
Oh Lord.
so that's fine. I'll do the rose. That's fantastic. But he wants his name tattooed on her. Well, I kind of talked to her. I asked her, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, no.
You can't cover it back up, Yes,
You know better than that.
I want it. So I draw up this little name, something that would definitely be coverable in the future. Because sometimes you're thinking about that. You'll be seeing this person in a year or two, and you're going to have to cover this thing up. So really simple name. I do his tattoo first. Halfway through their tattoo, they're getting in a pretty good argument right here in the shop. We're a busy tattoo shop. We're all tattooing. We have clients over here kind of giggling to themselves because they're just putting all their dirty laundry out. We finish up the tattoo and they go outside and they get into a pretty heated argument now. And at this point, I'm like, I'm really not comfortable doing this tattoo. And I have her come back in. I tell her that. And she says, no. I need to get this tattoo. I'm like, why do you need to get this? He's going to be mad at me if I don't get it. I said, tell his ass to come back.
Right here, get over it.
Tell him to get his ass back in here. And I'm going to tell him that I'm not doing this tattoo on you,
Right, yeah.
And you know what? We didn't do that tattoo. And
Well, that was good for her.
I'm grateful for
It
that.
was kind of like a
because
situation.
It really
a little
was.
weird.
That
And the guy came back like a month later and got someone else's name tattooed.
oh my,
Cover up on his neck of somebody else's name.
oh God.
Here, I got.
and when they came back, they were also broken up. So it just kind of, we were already sure that he had made the right choice by not letting them not doing the
Right.
tattoo. But then when they came back and like, oh yeah, we are broken up. It's like, okay, thank God, Josh. Yes, he didn't get paid. He may have lost.
I didn't need
money,
that money. I didn't need that money.
but it's more important to do something that we think is right than whatever money with something like tattooing where it's on them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
So-
that's so stupid. I don't know why people do that. Why
Funky,
would you?
story for you. This was back when I was tattooing at City Lights, which is another good shop in Liberty. If anyone's in Liberty, get tattooed at City Lights. But anyway, I'm tattooing this woman right on her forearm right here. I don't remember what the tattoo was. Maybe it was like flowers or something like that. It was like a small little tattoo. And you could see like the rhythm in her voice change. She started acting weird. I look up. I'm like, are you all right? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden she just goes like white, starts sweating. I'm like, are you sure? You sure, bud? And she just eyes roll back in her head.
Oh my God.
She throws up right onto her tattoo that I'm in the middle of, just right on it. And I'm like maybe 10, 15 minutes into this tattoo, just throws up and passes out. I'm like, oh!
Oh my God. That's crazy.
So like, you dab a little bit of the vomit.
You gotta wipe it off, bro. You gotta get it off.
And then she wakes up. She goes to the bathroom, cleans up. We make her mop the floor. And yeah, she finished the tattoo after that.
What?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know. It was just like vines and flowers or something. Like maybe
Something you couldn't stop then.
Well,
Clean her off and redraw that thing back on.
Cleaner.
I don't want to hear it out of you anymore.
when people pass out during a tattoo, they're usually afterwards like great to finish the tattoo. Most of the time they don't throw up. Sometimes they do.
I wasn't expecting that. That's kind of crazy.
That being said, for anyone that hasn't got tattooed or doesn't get it often, that's not a normal situation. Don't be
Okay,
thinking like you're.
Chris, you tell us. Okay, now what was the craziest situation you went through?
I don't know, to be honest with you. We were talking about this before we got on, like different
Mhm.
stories. There's a bunch of really weird stories. I think it's just part of working on Broadway. You meet a lot of interesting characters.
Yeah.
But I'll say definitely something that happened maybe a couple months ago. Not really. It isn't necessarily even a tattoo I got to do, but it was just the individual came in and their presentation was interesting to say the least in terms of their outfit and everything else going on with them.
So they were already extra. Already.
Yeah, they were already extra and they were already looking extra.
Let me tell you one more quick weird story.
Caesar, why are you going to cut him off like that? Let him finish.
They haven't been
he can
tattooing
finish.
for that long.
No, he can finish. He can finish. You cut me off already.
All right, okay, so let's finish Kristen. We'll get back to Corey.
All right. So essentially this guy came in and they wanted a tattoo and they're like very persistent, like I need to come over and give them a quote on how much this tattoo is going to be right now. And I was like, all right, well, you got to give me a second. I'm just finishing up tattooing someone else. I come over to them and then they want a piece of paper to write down what or show me what they want. And then they realize that they don't know how to spell. So then they give me the piece of paper and tell
So
me,
you can spell check it.
yeah, the few words they wanted. Yeah, the few words they wanted were just, I guess, too hard. So they wanted parking in rear.
Too much. Too much. Okay, now I got a visual of what you was like. They were extra. Oh Lord.
Yeah, and then they wanted an arrow from the parking in rear.
You know that you didn't do this tattoo. Did you do this tattoo?
Shockingly enough, the guy never came
Yeah,
back.
shockingly enough, they never came back to actually get it. But that was
he would do it.
This is the type of tattoo you do on the spot.
this
This comes in the door, you get it done with.
That's just like what the street shop is. You know, you just get all walks of life come in, and a lot of times you're tattooing them.
Oh my.
Okay, wait. So here's a weird, real quick, a weird one.
Yes, please. Because I'm like, I got to get that visual out of my head.
Here's a palate cleanser. All right. So there was this man who I had tattooed him maybe once before, and he was definitely. This is when I was like early in my career, and I can't really turn many people away. I need the money, and I'm just trying to practice tattooing, get better at it. The guy comes in, I do some tattoo on him. He's definitely intoxicated, or at the bare minimum has alcohol in his system. I don't see him for a while, and then he comes back in, and he's like really distraught. A friend of his had passed away, and the friend had a nickname. I don't want to say the nickname and give anyone away, but he wanted me to tattoo the friend's nickname like on his forearm. Like, okay, I get it. You know, I get it.
Right.
So I did the tattoo, and then he comes back a couple months later. He wants the same name again on his other forearm. Like, okay.
Why?
I don't know. But then he comes back again. I ended up tattooing this guy maybe like 8 times. He has the guy's nickname on both of his neck, his hands, his forearms, his arms. He got the same nickname everywhere. This guy every time.
So that was his real friend. That he meant a lot to him. Okay, we had a question. Someone wanted to know if you do
Yes, I
pictures.
saw. So face tats. Most of the time, it's a hard no. But face tats are kind of like reserved for people who have a ton.
No life.
Yeah. People who have like a ton of tattoos already, and also like maybe a career that they're not worried about losing, because we're not like, we get this a lot with like younger kids, especially. They want like their hand tattooed, their neck tattooed, their face tattooed, because it's like part of the culture now. But they don't have any other tattoos, and you know, they're 18, 19, early 20s. It's like they don't have no career right now. It's like, we're not going to be the people that like ruin your life, where it's like a professional business. And if you want to get that hand tattoo or that neck tattoo, why don't you go get a sleeve first or a whole back piece, you know, tattoo your torso, get a career, something, and just don't ruin your life right away. We're not
got a whole lot of real estate to fill before that point.
We try to
hide that stuff.
You got a whole lot of skin to tattoo before you think about your face, neck, and hands.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tattooing for, like I said, over 10 years. I don't want to get my face tattooed or my neck tattooed or my hands tattooed.
None of us have a face or neck tattoo.
And why is that? Because of the pain, or
it's when you get that face tattoo, that's, you know, you're basically like, when you get your tattoos over everywhere that you can cover with like a suit or an outfit, you know, you're still basically your same identity. But when you get a face tattoo, it's like, or a hand tattoo, what are you going to wear, gloves or put makeup over or whatever. It's like that's
it's
like
right
you're
there.
making a real big.
It's in your face all day, every day, and the people
Yeah,
you meet, you know.
It's a big.
Yeah, I think that's
decision to make.
stupid.
It's a big decision to make. Some face tattoos look really good, and like I said, like it's not that we wouldn't necessarily do it, but like
Mhm.
you got to have a lot of tattoos, and you got to be like, you know, for sure you're not going to get like lose your job or something over it, you know.
Or you're a millionaire and you can afford, well, multi-millionaire. Million doesn't even go far. That doesn't even matter to you.
I thought about that, and it would be nice to turn away a millionaire, but like, nah.
I'll charge them up the wazoo for that one. I'll do it.
Now, how do you guys come up with the price of your tattoos? Is it how long it takes, the size, the color?
Yeah, I mean, those are all factors. For the most part, at this point, it's an hourly rate.
Okay.
And yeah, like color goes into it. Color, the location of your body, you know, the subject matter. But pretty much, I mean, even these guys, as they haven't been tattooing that long, they're pretty quick for how they've been tattooing, and like you kind of have an idea of how long a tattoo is going to take. So you set that hourly rate, and you just kind of like roughly stick to it, you know. So if you do a 2-hour tattoo, or you do like an hour and a half, hour 45, you kind of know where you're in like a fair price. Because this area, it's not like Monticello is known for being like this rich, economic, prosperous, you know. So we try to like, we always work with our clients, and we don't kill them on price.
Okay.
Unless you're rich, then we're going to charge you.
A good question that came up, because you mentioned the girl who passed out, right? She passed out. Someone wanted to know a medical history isn't required.
Well,
because what if they bleed? They're bleeders. Have
Well, yeah. We have a release that people fill out.
Right, because I signed a bunch.
And most people don't read it. They just sign
Yeah, I'm
it.
like, I didn't even read it. I didn't read it.
What you didn't know is that we now control all your data.
We sell it now.
In the release is a section where it does, like, if you have any kind of serious, like the serious medical conditions that you would want to notify your tattooer of, like having hepatitis or diabetes or HIV, those are serious things. But like some of the other things, like we don't really care if you're a bleeder or like if you have no thumbs or something.
They're on blood thinners and you tattooing them and they're just bleeding like crazy. And
if you're on blood thinners, you should definitely let your tattooer know. And like I said, diabetes, hepatitis, HIV, you absolutely, even if you're like on chemotherapy or something, you should definitely let your tattooer know, because it's going to help them determine like their approach to tattooing you.
Okay.
And there's certain things we're not allowed to ask.
Right, because of HIPAA.
Yes, exactly. So it's definitely one of those where we're kind of trusting you to let us know things if we need to know it. So
they should use wisdom.
Yeah.
People with those type of situations, because they're also putting your health at risk also. So
they generally do too.
Okay. Do you ever turn anybody away that has any kind of status like that, or do you use extra precautions?
Yeah, usually it's just extra precaution.
Okay. All right. Well, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, like I'm just now. You talked about the hourly rate, right? Depending on the size or whatever. But let's say you get somebody new, like myself, that first little. I mean, like I just got writing, and I'm sure it took much longer than the normal person because it was my first tattoo. And
now we got you out of here quick.
But you know what, you guys, I have to say, like, I appreciate so much how caring you were when you kept stopping and asking me if I was okay. You kept checking on me. I didn't want you to know that I was crawling out of my skin. I'm trying to, but yeah, I kept saying, I was like, yo, these guys are great. And I'm trying to watch you tattoo to distract. Chris was behind. You wasn't tattooing anybody at the time, Chris. Nope.
Probably not.
Nope, you weren't tattooing at the time. But it was a situation. But you guys made me feel really comfortable. You guys made me feel comfortable. And I think that's really important for people to know that you guys
can get the next one. Are you going to come get one if we're all jerks?
No, absolutely not.
But I think that's I speak like for I think all of us, we just genuinely care about people. Obviously, of course, getting a good tattoo, but like
Right.
I love that people come here and they feel comfortable,
Yeah.
or they feel like they could talk to us, or they have a good time, or they feel safe. Specifically, like your situation where it's your first tattoo,
Right.
you're nervous, you're dealing with all these different emotions. We get people that come in for the first tattoo all the time, and it's important to kind of just work with them, understand like they're going through something new, and they, depending on, sometimes it's an emotional experience for them, depending on what the tattoo is,
Right.
or sometimes they're just afraid of the pain. But I think, all of us kind of do a good job of trying to take the time for everyone, depending on what that person's looking for.
Mhm.
You get people that come in, and even if they've been tattooed 27 times, but they're just a talker, and they want to talk to them while they're getting tattooed, because it helps them get distracted or whatever it may be. And then
Right.
some people want to put their headphones in and just be silent, and kind of just reading that energy and
Mhm.
being like, hey, and not only am I trying to do a good tattoo on them, but whatever's going to make you comfortable is how I want to approach it as well.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, so tattooing, it's like you brought up Ink Master and shows like that. It's like tattooing is blown up. It's not like this subculture, underground, seedy industry anymore. It's like your grandma
No.
has a tattoo now. It's
Right.
like you're probably in the minority if you don't have a tattoo. So
Yeah, I was.
you go into tattoo shops now, and it's not like this like dark, smoky cigarette in the air. It's like a lot of tattoo shops are like have like the standards of like a dentist office or something like that. So bedside manner and being personable, it's just
Very important.
it makes our jobs easier, because if we're just mean to everyone or we don't care,
Right.
one, you're not
Yes.
going to get returning clients, and
No.
the tattoo itself is not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah, it was back when I was growing up. I was born 1970. When I was growing up, it was like a taboo kind of.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Like you were like a rebel bad boy, bad girl if you had a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now it means like you're like a 5-star chef who makes like a delicious salad or something.
I'm still a bad boy. Thank you.
He's the
my
bad.
cousin was like, "Welcome to the dark side." I'm like, "What?" Like, what is going on? But have you ever had anybody that? Well, I was gonna say that came in that. I don't even know how to put this correctly. Um. Okay. Speaking for self, I grew up in the church, right? And so people with tattoos, that was a no-no. Like that was a no-no. So have you ever had anybody that come in and talk to you about that experience while they're getting it done? Has anybody ever been through that before?
Well, let me ask you,
Yes.
every time you've been in a church,
hmm
what does it look like in there?
Sterile.
Well, sterile, sure. But like you got like stained glass windows. I'm talking about a church. You go into a church, there's stained glass windows.
Yeah, Catholic churches are Pentecostal, no stained glass. But yeah, Catholic, the beautiful, the color and the art is
I
yeah.
don't know what a
There's
Pentecostal
artwork.
church is. What I'm trying to
But
say
I
is
imagine
that
they have their cross, or they'll have their
Yeah.
different iterations where the band's going to do worship and things along those lines, and
Yeah.
lights and
so a lot of religions across the board say you don't want to desecrate your body. But it's like
Yes. Yeah.
Your body is a temple.
your
Your
body.
body is your temple.
A lot of temples are adorned with lavish artwork, and
Yeah.
so it's just think of it in that light. It's not really a big deal if you're decorating your body with artwork,
Yeah.
and because
Or people that are important to you. Like the tattoo I have is like if you look at it where it's located, it goes right across my heart.
no one's
So
gonna
there's
look
a
at them like, Bunky, what's going on?
no, but I showed people and everybody was like, that is not real. It was like you did not, and that's why I said I keep touching it because I'm in awe that I did it. But like I said before, it goes right across my heart because it means so much to me. So like people like me think about things before I do it. I wouldn't have just gotten a random tattoo.
Oh yeah, and so there's definitely that client that has been thinking about that tattoo for a long time, and then they finally get it, and it's just like this really emotional experience, and they're just super proud of themselves, and that's awesome to be able to do that for people. It's like, because that you're the type of client that definitely helps push tattooing into other communities and get more mainstream, like less of a taboo thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's
not.
And you guys are great. I mean, like your artwork is really, really good. It,
Always
it
Thank you. Thank you.
it is. So I mean, like I wouldn't have you on my show if you guys were garbage.
yeah,
No, really, because it's people be like, you had them on your show and we went there and got this horrible tattoo. But everybody that I know that got tattoos from you are so proud to say, oh, well, that's my tattoo artist. Yeah, they're really proud of you guys.
But there's a like a saying in tattooing that I'll take out the expletives, but it's like you would rather get a tattoo, like a bad tattoo from a good person than a great tattoo from a person who's
That's a fact.
not because you're just gonna look at that great tattoo and be like, ah, that guy was such a jerk, man.
Right.
Like
And that was a horrible experience. And yeah.
but
we're gonna give you both.
yes, we're gonna
Okay. So you guys, okay, so your shop has been there for almost
Wakeman in the chat. Mitch
Huh?
Wakeman. I just wanted to say I see Mitch Wakeman in the chat, my little brother.
Oh.
He's a Fed, so be careful. Watch out for that guy.
So, you know, everybody that know me, my kids gonna be like, Mom, why do you say that? You know, I'm pro law enforcement. I
Oh
am.
yeah, too. My father-in-law's a cop. He's probably
Yeah.
watching right now.
And you know what? And yeah, I am so. But we're not gonna. My kids are probably like, "Yo, Ma, like, chill." Well, all right, whatever. But have you tattooed your father-in-law? Like, what was the family members? You guys tattoo family members?
Yeah, I've tattooed pretty much everyone in my family except for my father-in-law, Raul.
Yeah, that's gonna be solved. I've tattooed my sibling, some cousins. My dad talked about wanting to get a tattoo, and then my mom said he's not allowed to. So that's we're working on that one. Maybe soon. But
why not just do it? Don't think about it. Just do it.
I think it's more of what he wants, and he's a big fisherman, so he wants a bass, and she's like, I don't want to be staring at a bass on your arm all the time.
Okay.
Slowly, maybe I'll just do a portrait of her face, and then she can't argue with that.
What about a portrait of her face on a bass?
You know what? This is why we will all work together so well.
Just make it
And does he have tattoos?
My dad, no.
Yeah.
No,
So he would want to do a bass like with the detail and the scales. That sounds pretty painful.
Yeah, my man loves some fishing.
No, I get that, but I kind of experienced the pain a little bit, and that's a unique pain because Josh said it to me. Because people used to say to me, "Well, Bunk, you had 3 kids. You can take a tattoo. It's like the same thing." And he was like, "It's not the same." And I'm saying to myself, "Okay, well, let's see." And it is not the same type of pain. This is a pain that I've never experienced. But the thing about it is, like having a baby, though, like having a child, once after you have the baby and you see the baby a little while later, the pain, you forget about all of that pain. And it's the same thing with the tattoo. After I got it done, and looked at it and loved it so much, I forgot about the pain. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and get the heart done. Same thing with having it. So that might be the only comparison. But the pain is not the same. But they're both worth it.
If they hurt that bad, people wouldn't get them.
Yeah. Say that's like the number one question we get is people come in and like, is this gonna hurt? Is this gonna hurt? And like
It's going to hurt.
it's its own experience. Like it's its own feeling. So when people act like, oh, well, what's it gonna feel like? It feels like a tattoo.
Yeah.
You know,
say like cat scratch or a bee sting or a razor blade, but
That's a good one.
yeah.
Razor blade.
I don't know.
I don't
cut
think
myself
that's
with a razor
accurate.
That's how it felt. I was like, whoa. But
I had a lady I did a tattoo on yesterday. First tattoo. She was a little older. She was so worried. She spent a half hour pinching her arm where she was going to get tattooed, thinking that this was going to replicate the pain or something like that.
oh no.
Relax, take a deep breath. We sent her over to the bagel bakery, grab a bagel, get a schmear on there, get some calories in you. Come on back. We'll do the tattoo. And she was like, I love this. This is almost therapy to me. I'm going to come back and get more tattoos. And I said,
It is. It's pretty amazing. I have to say.
we need to talk about that comment right there that Josh made. There is no free numbing cream.
Because somebody asked me that. Did you get numbing cream? I was like, no, he just did it.
Use it. You can use it. but we don't supply it for free.
Oh, you got to pay for that.
No, you could buy it and apply it before the tattoo.
Yeah, you could buy it on your own. Like we don't have like a stock in the back where you could buy it from us. It's like you go on Amazon, buy it, make sure it's on before you get here.
Isn't it just lidocaine?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can go on Amazon and find a smorgasbord of different
Of
brands.
course.
Go to Walmart.
Gosh, that's
Yeah.
Patron, not numbing cream.
But you're not supposed to look. Our time is going so quick. I remember when my son Kenny got his very first tattoo. I took him to Middletown. He had just gotten home when he had went away to boot camp for the Marines, and I took him to Middletown, and they asked if you drank or whatever because they won't tattoo you if you've been drinking. Do you guys, because the bleeding or something,
Well, it's
like
definitely
really drinking?
spectrum. It's a spectrum. Like if you're like totally trashed, they're probably not gonna tattoo you. If you're a little buzz and you want something small, maybe we'll tattoo you. It's like it really is. You know, we don't want you to be drunk when you're getting a tattoo. You know?
Yeah, no.
So
Okay. All right. And for those that don't know, you guys, that's Jesse. I was hoping they would pick him up and do a quick.
We'll get her
come
eventually.
here,
Come here, Jesse.
Jesse. Come here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
so
our unofficial fourth member of the crew.
Come here.
so cute.
Come here, you dingus.
You're not in trouble.
Oh,
This is Jessie.
But
She's
you
our,
guys look at that face. Oh my.
The muscle,
yeah, she's the
Yeah,
muscle of
that's
the,
the muscle.
operation. She lets her,
Oh,
sets everyone straight here.
oh.
It'll be really quiet in the shop. You're tattooing on someone, all of a sudden she's sitting right behind you, barking.
It's like those ears are like, what is going on?
She provides a small amount of compassion,
yeah.
a large amount of noise.
Yeah, you get a
Yeah.
tattoo. You're in a lot of pain. You can give her a little pet.
Yeah. She's
Very
definitely
friendly.
a lot where like people are suffering through the tattoo and all of a sudden she shows up and just, you know,
Oh, yeah.
patches,
Yeah.
makes them feel a little bit better and
Yes. Pet
She goes-
therapy.
that
Therapy. Now
Yeah.
look, it's 7:54. How quick was that?
was fast.
That was
That was
fast.
fast. I told you it was fast. And I wanted you guys to get, and I was like, we're going to do 2 minutes each or whatever. But I want you guys to like sell your shop because I want everybody, especially in Sullivan County or whoever's coming in or whatever, to make sure if you want a tattoo, to make sure you go to 452 Broadway because these guys right here will give you an experience, a good experience for your first time.
Yeah, if only our tattoo went by as quick as this interview.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm going to sell you. No, I mean, like, I think the best way to sell your shop is just by putting out good work. And if you see
Yes.
someone that has a tattoo done by us, just go look at it. And if you want a tattoo, and we're the ones to get it from. You know, there's not many. There's really no tattoo shops around. Either you're going to go out to Liberty, you're going to go out to Middletown.
right.
If you're in Sullivan County,
Oh, you're not going to Uncle Jeff's attic?
you can
yo?
go to Uncle Jeff. and-
I got an uncle. You know?
We're-
Yeah,
he's
we'll
not in a
see you
shop
after.
Right. He's just not in a shop right now. He's
Great
in
at
between
covering.
shops.
You know, it's a judgmental free shop and
Yes.
right on Broadway. You can't miss us. And we do
Nope.
all styles. So you pick it, we stick it.
And if you guys look, I'm putting up their IGs, and you can also go to their website. Go to their website, Catskill Tattoo Company. Like them, you can find Chris's Instagram is CJR4548 on Instagram. You have Corey. I'm not gonna say your last name because I'm gonna mess it up. Remember, I forgot that.
Let him say it. Let him say it.
Go ahead.
It's Wakeman.
Wakeman on Instagram. Make sure you put that dot there. And J
Billick.
Bullock.
I'm
Bill.
going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Okay, go ahead.
J. Billick Art.
J Billick Art at
You got it.
Instagram. So you guys go and follow them, look them up, so you can see the artwork. Because yeah, I wasn't expecting all that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't. And I'm just I was in awe. And I was like, your work is really, really good. And well, you know that. I mean, all your clients say that, and your work speaks for itself. So what do you want the people to know? Like each one of you, like what do you want them to know? Can they reach out to you by just calling or send you emails? Because all that stuff, I'm gonna put it up again.
All right. Just to make it easier for all of us. The best way the number one best way to reach out to us if you want a tattoo is to just come in and talk to us. That's the best way. The second best way is probably going to be Instagram DM and then our emails or email it. But it really, like, we're terrible at answering the phones because it's just
Yes, you are.
It's
Yes,
a three of us here.
yes, you're working. You're working.
It's
Yeah.
all like someone's already hurting as we're doing this tattoo.
We don't want to get up and answer.
Me
the
to
phone.
stop, take off my gloves, answer the phone, to wash my hands, put my
Yes.
gloves back on. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
That would stress me out.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
And the phone
Yeah.
rings a lot. So
Yeah.
just like
I'm-
we don't answer the phone.
Because I was stressed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, as we were getting close, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not hearing from them. What's going on?
I answered the phone for Bunky.
There
And we got,
you go.
Yeah, yeah, you did. When I called you, I was like, okay.
It's not that we
'Cause-
don't.
Well, you're busy, but it was meant for me. I believe everything happens for a reason.
Mhm.
So it was totally meant for me to come in. Carmen wants to know, do you do facial portraits?
Does
Do
she
you guys
just like a portrait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a
of a
portrait.
loved one,
Yes.
of a loved one? I'm kind of sure I know where she's going, like a loved one,
Definitely.
if I'm correct.
I definitely do portraits.
Okay.
Me personally, no, I'm not your portrait guy. I would refer you to this gentleman.
Yeah, Corey got the portraits down right
Yeah,
now.
bro, you did that good Tupac.
Yeah, he's
portrait.
Tupac.
I did
You
it.
did
This-
it too.
Yeah, someone wanted Tupac.
This guy's selling
portrait.
himself short.
Yeah, one of the best. Tupac.
Yep. Yeah, I knew exactly where she was going with that. So definitely reach out to them on 452 Broadway. Oh yeah. Oh, I would love to see that tattoo. When she's talking, I would love to see.
I would love to do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you would really have to do that one justice. I mean, that's special.
You can say no piercing.
Yeah, we don't do piercings here. So,
Oh.
Aaron Levine, you're gonna have to go somewhere else for your Prince Albert.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah,
know what that.
You have to do that yourself, buddy.
Okay.
Awesome.
Work
Well,
across the street. We'll stop by tomorrow. There you go. You got a client.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. So, all right. Look. Okay. So it's 7:59. So we're gonna get ready to end this. I appreciate you guys so much. I will be back. I'll be. Cause I'm gonna. I think. I don't know. Cause I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure this out. Cause I kind of like it like this. So I don't know if the color might mess it up. So everybody, make sure, like the Catskill Tattoo Company on 452 East Broadway. No, 452 Broadway Suite C, Monticello. I mean, you can't miss it. It's right there when you're driving down Broadway on your right hand side.
Come on.
It's right there. You'll see it.
there's a pen window.
Yeah, big yellow panther.
A big,
The door is always wide open.
especially now it's warm and nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and you guys go. You want your tattoo? Go hit these guys up. So
Yeah, Josh kills me.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank you,
having us,
Bunky.
Bunky.
Let me know.
We'll do this again.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was a pleasure, Bunky.
It was. You guys are so nice. You guys are really great. You are. Next week, I just want everybody to know to tune in. I have Mr. David Terrell, aka The Block. He's of Culture Shock Radio. He is over that that I talked about. Share the Shock, CA, because he's in Canada. Expose the North and the Tyrell Effect. All these podcasts and different things he's involved with. So he'll be in. He's an engineer. He'll be on next week. And once again, I just want to remind everybody and you guys, download Zeno FM. Download the app. It's free. Download Zeno FM if you want to hear this again. You can hear this episode. Well, you can go back and look at it on YouTube and Facebook. Share it. Tell a friend. Tell everybody about it. But you can hear it, which is a totally different experience. You can hear on the radio tonight on LLR Ohio, the Tattoo Shop Radio, Sasquatch Boot Hill Radio, Cuzzo FM Radio. Tomorrow morning, I don't know what time you guys open, but at 8:30 in the morning, 8:30, you can hear it on WAP the Music FM, Culture Shock Radio, Southern Soul Gold. And on Sundays at 1 o'clock, Godfidence Radio. So you guys are all over. It's global.
That's
So
awesome.
everybody's going to know who you are.
Maybe we'll get
Right.
some people from Guadalupe to come in.
Maybe. Maybe it's Guadalupe. Because I can just say Guadalupe. and Ontario, Canada, Germany.
I think it's pronounced Hermany.
Okay. All right. Look, I gotta go because I have to get this in so everything is on time. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you share it. Make sure you share this on your page.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh,
we
All
will.
right. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. And
Thanks.
for those people that cancel, thank you. So I
Take
was shouting out. So you guys have a wonderful night. Bye bye.
Take
care.